But cancer really has taught me so much. Like, never order a wig on the internet. I ordered the Jamie Lee Curtis Pixie, and what they sent me made me look like Joe Pesci from My Cousin Vinny. And I see other cancer patients tie a scarf around their head and look like a fashion model. When I did it, people asked me to read their palms.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Music Wednesdays. The last two, now three, are a little bit different. The last two, if you remember 3 weeks ago, we had the impressions on, kind of a podcast format, and then last week was Mitch Ryder. Today, I have actually two guests today. Karen Mills is my first guest. We're going to talk about another upcoming Country Cool show.
Yes.
And then right after, Deacon Bluz is going to be here to talk about a show he's got at UTC. So we're going to do a little harmonica and blues singing. But first, a little comedy.
Little comedy.
How you been?
Good. Great.
Hard to believe it's been a year already.
I know. A little over a year.
We did a similar thing last year over at the Walker on the stage. We had Leanne, your friend Leanne, was on with us, and Trish joined us.
She called in.
Kind of via phone. Best we could make
The best
do.
we could make.
We're going to include some video clips of some performances of all you guys during this. So it's you'll get to see the funny, too. I always tell people one of the it's most surprising interviews that I do for the papers with comedians, because I think everybody expects you guys to be funny all the time.
And we're not.
And you're not. Let's go ahead and dispel that myth right now.
That's right. Don't expect nothing here.
I mean, if I've done 30, 3 have been funny, where they're just funny people,
Well, and now Leanne's one that can just, and how it comes out of her mouth is funny.
Our friend, the Tennessee Tramp.
Oh yeah, Janet.
Janet wakes up funny. And
she
goes
wakes
to sleep
up funny. Yes.
And we've talked, and you're more of a writer.
I am.
I guess
I'm more of a thoughtful comic.
Right.
I process things and then I take them to stage. But I'm not just kidding. I'm not Robin Williams. I'm not on all the time.
Well, let's talk about the show first. That's why you're here. Country Cool. When is it? Where is it? All those stuff.
October 4th at the Walker Theater, 8:00. And we've had great ticket sales. Still some available, but we're doing great. We're ahead of last year, and we're excited to come back.
Yeah. I was thinking about yesterday, actually. The cool thing about that is it's kind of like what we do here, I think. You just wanted to, so you did it, right?
Right.
I mean, you guys are friends. You love hanging out.
We've all been, we were all at one time or another on part of the Southern Fried Chicks tour. And then we just all really bonded and decided to do something together. And it's so much fun. And you're out on the road. You don't always have people with you.
Right.
Much of the time, being a comic can be a lonely life. So, so we have a ball together, and it's,
I love it. I just think, we want to hang out. How can we hang out?
Yeah.
And
get paid for it.
It's
and
genius.
Comedy always ensues, we always get new material because it's funny things happen,
Right.
So
and I love the format. It's Trish Suhr, Leanne Morgan, Karen Mills, and you each do, what'd you tell me?
We
20,
each
30
do
minutes?
like 25, and then we come back out together and do another 10 together, which that banter's always a lot of fun. Everyone really enjoys that. So, so that's great fun. I mean, it's just something a little different than a traditional stand-up show, and everyone's a headliner, so it's not like it's you kind of wait for the to the big bang, because it's from the very beginning when Trish hits the stage. It's full of laughs.
I got a bunch of questions, so if you'll indulge me, how has it changed? Because you've done this how long now?
I've done this for 26 years.
Yeah, so you've seen it.
Oh, yes. I've seen it. And it's changed in many ways. One big way it's changed is just all the social media. Now a lot of people get booked in comedy clubs that aren't even comics. A lot of times they don't even have a set, but they had a viral video. So now they'll sell out because, and then you get there and they don't even really do comedy.
They're not professionals.
Yeah, no, they might have 10, 15 minutes, but they'll try to surround themselves with other comics that can fill the time. And the celebrity of the video is what's drawing in the people. So that's a huge difference.
Right. And I've heard other comics that I've interviewed, even more than that, they'll skip the comedy club altogether.
Sometimes straight to the theater.
Now they're doing theaters and arenas and don't know how to. And you do also the corporate thing, which is a big part of your business model. Is that fair?
It is. Well, since going through ovarian cancer, I also now do a lot of comedy with a message. And so I do survivor events. I do healthcare conferences. I do all sorts of things like that. So, I love doing straight stand-up, but I also love bringing laughter to people who have been through difficult times. Yeah.
And that, for you, is your stand-up routine much different than the corporate sets? Because I know a lot of comedians that have talked about they don't have to clean it up. They might have to do it differently. They might tailor it towards.
I might tailor it towards, but I'm clean anyway, so that's not a big deal in terms of content. But if it's a particular type of a company, if it is corporate, not like what I said, a conference or a survivor event, something like that, then if it's the Georgia Egg Association, I might try to throw in a little bit of, you know what I'm saying? I might try to throw in some comedy about whatever their topic is. I tailor a little bit, but then it's very little, and then I get to my normal just.
So you've always impressed me as being smart and professional, so this may not apply to you, but Mitch Ryder, the singer, lives in town, and we were talking about some of his mess ups that he's done, and he was doing a corporate event in Hawaii, I think, and didn't pay attention to the audience, and so made all kinds of jokes about the Japanese in Pearl Harbor.
Ooh.
And couldn't understand why this room was quiet, and then all of a sudden, he found out there was a Japanese convention. So
Try to do your homework ahead of time on that.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
betting you probably haven't had many of those.
I haven't had many of those. No, I know where I'm going, what the audience is. I know all about. Now, the one I had that the worst gig of my life was in Barrow, Alaska, the northernmost point of the United States of America. Fly in a blizzard. Is in February. Get in, and the Native American lady picks me up, taking me to where I'm staying, which was above the fire department. I mean, the population is very small there. And I go, oh, hey, look, will you stop and let me get a picture by the iceberg? And she's like, that's no iceberg. That's a wave. It had frozen while it was breaking. It was frozen. And so it's this big, tall wave that is, and she said it'll thaw out in October and freeze back by July.
Wow.
I mean, freeze back by October, but from July to for like 2 months, it's.
All right. That's cold.
No, so here's the point. They related to nothing. They didn't have mall. They didn't relate to losing a car in a parking lot. They didn't have cars or malls. Few cars on the place, but you had to pay an ice road trucker $5,000 to bring it in. I mean, toilet paper was $42 for a 24-pack. I'm like, yeah, it might be better to wipe with dollar bills. I mean, just saying. But it was, and they just couldn't relate to anything, and it was the hardest gig I've ever done.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the show again. Let's go back. So, because they're not here, tell me about Leanne, and then tell me about Trish.
Leanne, right now she has a deal with Sony Television to develop a sitcom based on her comedy.
My husband, there's two things on this earth that make him happy. A clean house and sex. Oh, lucky me. I like a clean house too. too fun to clean. I want somebody else to do it, you know? So to make my husband happy, I got to where I would just pour bleach in certain parts of the house. And so when he came home, he'd smell it and think that I had been cleaning. It worked for a little while, and then he caught on to me. And he said, if you'll have sex with me twice a week, I'll get you a maid. No. And then, he said, well, if you don't start taking care of my needs, I guess I'm going to have to get a girlfriend. I said, oh, dear Lord, say it's not so. I said, well, make sure that she's stout and that she can mow, because I need some help.
And she is, she's just one of the funniest people on the planet. She had a video. She did a dry bar comedy special, and her clips went viral. She's had over 40 million views. Trish just had one of her clips go viral, over 13 million views. I had a dry bar comedy special, and I've had over 12 million views. So we have all, since we were at the Walker last, had a lot of action and things happen. So it's really a fun time, because we're getting people coming from all over that we never knew, but because of those clips, we've been exposed to so much more.
Right. You were talking about how different you guys are, or maybe I was thinking, but when you do this in the round, what's that like for you? Because you are more of the writer, the cerebral. Is that more challenging for you, more fun because you get to do something different, sort of riff, or you know what I'm talking about at the end of the
at the end.
Yeah,
I love it. And you asked about Leanne and Trish. I talked about Leanne some, but Trish is the consummate professional.
Before I used to do comedy, I used to bartend, and this little heifer walked in my bar. And she sat down. I said, hi, honey, how are you? Can I get you something to drink? She goes, oh, my God, you sound horrible. Well, actually, it's my voice all the time. She goes, oh, my God, how awful for you. Right? So I walked to the other end of the bar and started plotting her death. And right then, y'all, she gave me one of these. Right when you want to just cut up. Okay. I walked back over. I said, yes, ma'am. She goes, my boyfriend will have a Diet Coke, and I'll have a glass of Chardonnay. You know what? I don't really feel comfortable serving pregnant women in my bar. That heifer looked right at me and said, I'm not pregnant. I said, well, how awful for you. You don't mess with a Southern woman. Hell no. We will rip your heart out, show it to you, and then bake it in a pie. We will say the 3 most hateful words ever put together in the English language. Anybody? Bless your heart. Yes! Because everybody knows that bless your heart really means go screw yourself. And if you didn't, now you know. Somebody did sign up for all this glamour, though. I'm married. Somebody put a ring on it, y'all. He's not a good old boy, but he's an Ohioan. Are there any Ohioans here? All right, I'll take the one you might not like me after this. My people call Ohioans FIFOs, which is effing idiots from Ohio. Now, not because you're not pretty, but because y'all come down and take over our lakes, and we don't have a lot to live for. So I take him home to meet my people, and they're like, Trish is marrying a FIFO. I'm like, he knows what it means, y'all. He knows. Keep it down. It's not good. My brother didn't know what to do with him. My brother was kind of suspect. My brother is the guy, he's a Navy SEAL, my little brother, David. And thank you so much. He's an angel. But he was the guy that before he went into the military, he was gangly looking. Y'all know what I'm talking about, like long, odd appendages, like 110 pounds, and he's 6'4", right? He comes through the SEAL program, and now he's 220 and hotter than fish grease. And again, I can say that because it's legal where I'm from. Hot. He's hot. But his guy friends have not let him know that he is attractive. So he still thinks he's goofy looking. And he's stationed down in Coronado Island. So he comes up to visit me, and we watch ball games on Sundays. And we're up at the bar sitting there watching a game, and this little L.A. booby girl walks up, just, all this, bounces up to him and taps him on the shoulder, and he's just sitting there at the bar watching the game. She goes, excuse me, can I have a cocktail napkin? I'm sitting there. My brother, without turning around, y'all, leans over, grabs a stack of napkins, and goes, there you go. And the little girl stands there for a second and holds napkins, just stands there and goes, okay. And just kind of bounces off. And I wait till she gets out of earshot, and I said, Dave, buddy, what were you doing? That little girl was hitting on you. He goes, Trish, that's a crock of crap. When you went to take a pee, 2 other girls came and asked for the same damn thing. This place has crap customer service.
She knows how to set everything up. She knows how to run it. She knows the technical. She knows behind the scenes. And so she's great at being out there and making sure that we stay on task of where we're going and keeping the timing and keeping everything going without really you noticing that she's got this under control. Right. So she, but it's so fun because sometimes, you kind of go out with a general idea of what you're going to talk about, but somebody will interject something and then it can go off the rails and it can go a totally different direction. So I love that part of the show. I could do that part of the show for 30 minutes and cut our sets down because it's just so much fun and unpredictable.
I imagine it is. And that comes from y'all being friends for so long.
Yes, yeah. Everywhere we go, we, shop TJ Maxx and eat at Ruby Tuesdays and and have a ball.
I remember last time you were in, you guys, or maybe it was Leanne was talking about that sort of moment, that hour before the show. I think she said she gets so tired she can't stop yawning. And that preparation.
I could lay down on a slab of concrete the hour before the show, and I don't know how I'm going to even make it through.
Everybody's different.
But we every afternoon before we have a comedy nap. I don't, but that's what Leanne always says. I got to go take a comedy nap because we got to build a railroad tonight. Because sometimes it feels like it. So we always walk in the hotel and go, "Good night, Irene," and go rest.
Come back ready to go.
Now we're ready. Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else? Tell everybody again when the show is.
It's October 4th at the Walker Theater, 8:00, and. I guarantee a great time. It's a great girls' night out, but it's also fun for the guys. A lot of times people think, oh, it's going to be male bashing or something. It's not that. It's in a funny way. Anything that's gender related, it's not mean spirited. So,
and it's a beautiful venue. So
it is a gorgeous venue. We're always excited to come, and so please check out Country Cool Comedy. Check out our individual clips, our individual websites, trishsuhr.com, karenmills.com, leannemorgan.com, and
it's SUHR.
It's SUHR, but pronounced SIR. Yeah.
Okay.
And one of my dogs I rescued when his mother was hit and killed crossing the road had him in her mouth. He was tossed into the ditch. I scooped him up, took him to the vet. The vet said he probably wouldn't make it, but I got up around the clock and I nursed him back to health, and he did make it. And my intention was once I got him healthy was to find him a home. But Lord, once you breastfeed one, you can't give it away. That's my favorite joke. Because half the room will go, oh. But then all the crazy dog people like me go, yeah, she's right. You breastfeed it. You can't give it away, honey. And they follow me everywhere I go. When I go to the bathroom, I have 4 dogs in the bathroom with me. I have a little chihuahua going, pick me up, pick me up, pick me up. And then I have a terrier dropping a ball on my feet going, throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball. And then I have an overweight Cocker Spaniel twerking back to me going, scratch my bottom, scratch my bottom.
All right. Karen, thank you so much.
Thank you, Barry.
Absolutely. And we'll do this again in a year, if not sooner.
I hope so.
Thanks, guys, for watching, and stick around for Deacon Bluz.